What are you saying now? To start over? Is it possible that Vidar has the power that allows him to do this? Presepe couldn't believe it. The most powerful entity in this world. And the strongest force that moves it is the system itself. Don't you think that there is a thread between me and it that connects me to it? If I had not found myself and continued to be led like other characters, it would still have nothing to do with me. But you know now, don't you? That I too have been damaged. Vidar stared at Presepe's face, which began to turn pale little by little, without changing his features. He wished he could destroy the entire system. If he had done so, he would have been able to prove one thing, that he is no different from Fenric, and that what he feels is not an illusion implanted in him through programmed settings, but an emotion born from him himself. But the book of memories, which stores the entire system within it, was not affected one bit. Yes, it was all in vain. Once Presepe realizes that he knew the truth from the beginning and yet stood by and watched, then everything will end. Even Vidar himself knew that that moment was the dividing line between his path and Fenric's path. She will be disappointed, and will carry him in her heart with blame, then with hatred. You will hate him because he is the one who complicated matters to this extent. Perhaps what he is saying now is nothing but an attempt on his part to instill more despair in her, because he no longer has anything else to do. No, don't say nonsense like that. Presepe murmured, stuttering as she opened her lips. It's impossible, that's possible. Do you really think so? Vidar smiled faintly. You who have barely found yourself in this cycle, do you think it is more than that? I never said that I found myself in this course. Presepe's violet eyes grew cold as she stared directly at Vidar. There was a very nice person who told me everything, a long time ago. Everything. It was only a moment later that Vidar threw a small object at Presepe's feet. It hit the ground, then rolled slightly, and there was a small notebook in it. What the heck is this? It was not only Presepe who did not understand what was going on, but Fenric was also similarly confused. It is true that he often wondered to himself, how did Vidar know that this world was not real? Vidar was always evasive with a simple lie, claiming that he realized this because he had lived so long, but Fenric never believed it. The two's eyes quickly turned to the notebook. Presepe bent down slowly, her hand shaking violently as she picked it up. My notebook, my diary, that notebook that I lost a short time ago after I was reincarnated in the game. Right here, at this lake. The forest is not as special as I expected. Maybe because it's not time to meet yet. But I kept the possibility that something might happen. As astonishment washed over her face, her old voice echoed near her ear. The world of. Then her eyes fell on words written in her own handwriting, clear and neat. Presepe, daughter of Vanessa and the dragon Nidhogg. Half monster. She is not human, because she is linked to the Demon King. Vidar, the Demon King, gave advice to Vanessa when she was pregnant, and before her death, Vanessa advised her daughter to go to the Forbidden Forest. Secret mode, hint to the real hero. After completing the endings with Dietrich, Ivan, Siegfried, Noah Duffern, and Atari Hannon, Vidar can be met. If Presepe sees closure with Vidar, she may be able to leave this world and return to reality. To the place where she lived before. If you were the Demon King. If everything you told me above was true, you are wronged. Even the words of his old question came back to her mind. The true hero, Demon King Vidar, is a being who has lived thousands of years, and still resides on the western side of the Forbidden Forest. When you meet someone who shaped your life like this, because I was the one who set those settings. Will you seek revenge? What do you think? Vidar asked her in a low voice. With those options? I made it for you. The questionable options that appeared to cause a glitch every time I made them began to appear clearly before my eyes one by one. Then. Even Knight Commander Siegfried seems to be aware of your presence. What do you think of him? I don't care. If you have to say it frankly, love him or hate him? I hate him even if I die. Kill Siegfried. Even that bright choice, as if it was interjected into my conversation with Vidar. I was thinking of destroying the system in any way, and creating chaos, but you did not stop disobeying me. I had no other choice. Chaos. You wanted to take revenge on me. That's why you lied, saying that the Demon King was dead, and made me believe it, and then you erased my last hope of getting out of here, all just to see me suffer. Yes, right. Vidar answered, his face frozen and without a trace of life. Whoever made me suffer to this extent, doesn't he deserve to be subjected to even this amount of revenge? The world she saw in her dream. Descriptions about Vidar. The mysterious words spoken by Juyeon. Everything became a loud echo in her head. The true hero, Demon King Vidar, is a being who has lived thousands of years, and is still there in the forbidden west of the forest. That's how I made the rule. Even the lines I wrote by hand. My condition is not good, but I still have some strength. Vidar said, slowly raising his hand. Besides, since everything is already broken, getting it back to square one will be easier. You will forget Fenrik, and Fenrik will forget you. We will go back to how we were. But do you think you will be able to meet again even if that happens? But even Vidar wasn't so sure. He lowered his head, looking at the deep wound under his collarbone, bleeding profusely and emitting a foul putrefaction. If we go back to the beginning, will I be safe? No, if my entire existence ended that way, perhaps it would be for the best. You who will remember nothing, not even Fenrik. Only then will you search for me, the one who has disappeared forever. You will be sore to the bone. Perhaps my heart will find some solace in that. Even if it costs death. You hate me, don't you? Vidar said as he stared at Presepe. But remember this well. Your hatred for me is not half the hatred I have for you. It is hundreds of times weaker than the grudge you accumulated when you were killed and revived thousands of times within this world. Does this mean that the origin of everything that happened is me? No, Vidar? His Majesty the Emperor. At that moment, a huge sound rang out from afar. Fenrik quickly raised his head with his arm around Presepe, taking it in sight before him. There, Dietrich was riding his horse, with Siegfried at his side, and they were rushing towards them. When Dietrich finally arrived and stopped in front of them, he passed with a cold, icy gazebo between Fenrik and Presepe. Then slowly he moved his gaze to Vidar. The Demon King. Vidar exchanged his gaze without any emotion. The time has finally come to fulfill Atiloya's greatest wish. Men, unite with me, and let us attack the Demon King. Vidar didn't react. He just gave a short smile, as if it were a tired sarcasm, exhausted to the core. Then suddenly, he extended his hand towards Dietrich and Siegfried. In an instant, a thicker black mist, like a swarm of insects, rushed towards Dietrich. At the same time, there was the sound of something round falling to the ground. Dum-dum-dash. A heavy, disgusting, unbearably ominous sound. Soldiers and monsters alike stopped moving, staring at one spot. Moments later, two objects emerged from the thickening fog, rolling toward Presepe. Severed heads. Dietrich's head, Siegfried's head. Ah! The soldiers screamed in terror at the Emperor's sudden death, while Fenrik's face was slightly frozen. Suddenly, the Book of Memories shone with an ominous light. As for Presepe. This is contrary to what I said at the beginning. Ah, impossible. How can you do to characters I made myself like this? Ah. I will check for myself. I will check with my eyes, clearly. Aya. As she staggered like crazy, Juyeon whispered her words, and I began to see her memories. Or to be more precise, her memories are the same.